Hey Mike, we've gotten some questions from our fans on YouTube page. So Al writes in, why is Bigfoot everywhere but not captured on film or in captivity? There's so many fake videos out there. So what are your thoughts on that, Mike?
Well, sometimes it does seem like Bigfoot is a little bit too ubiquitous everywhere. That happens because there's a lot of people who are seeing a Bigfoot when it's not really there. This indeed does happen. Sometimes I think it happens when people who are not familiar with the woods, they don't go out camping much, they just don't, they're city folk, and then they get out in the woods, and every little twig or snap or sound of the wind, it's got them going, and they're afraid it's lions, tigers, or bears, or Bigfoot. And people who have been skeptical about Bigfoot, who have been out in the woods, and then suddenly they now believe that Bigfoot might be real because they've read something or heard something that rings true with them. Then the next time they go out in the woods, once again, every little breaking branch or tree snap or whatever is a Bigfoot, or they're afraid it might be. And they get what we call Bigfoot fever. But the other part of that question, there has been video shot, actually film. Patterson shot film of a Bigfoot with Bob Gimlin's help. And in spite of what critics will say, that film still holds up. There's been more work done in that film in the last 10 years than the previous 30 to prove that it's real. And I think anybody in this day and age who still wants to flat out say it's a hoax, they haven't done the right research, because there's so many reasons why that's been proven to be genuine. And nobody's been able to disprove it, let's put it that way. And the common way that they attack the film now is that they don't speak to the merits of the film. They attack the men who make the film and try to make them look like crooks or something to give the film a bad reputation. But that film's never been duplicated. Nobody's been able to match it with a costume. So there are good pictures of Bigfoot. I think the Marble Mountain might be real. I don't know. The thing is about the Patterson-Gimlin film is that there's so much detail there. You can see the musculature, the bone structure, and everything. This is available on both stills and watching it in motion. And it's the only film of its kind that we have with that kind of detail. Recently, there's been some film put up online that was available, so you could scrutinize it fairly closely and start to analyze. This was some stuff that Todd Standing had put up, but he's taken that down now, so you can't really work on that unless you've already captured it. So there are actually, there's at least one good film of a Bigfoot, and I expect that there's more, and that there are more stills. And there may be even a few of them online, but of course there's so many more hoaxes online. I mean, every kid with a video camera now wants to go out and make a Bigfoot hoax. It's sort of the craze for YouTube to see how many Bigfoot hoaxes we can post on there. So yeah, picture evidence is relatively useless unless you've got high definition close up. You can see the features and the face clearly. You can watch it walk around. I mean, it would have to be an excellent film for anyone to believe a film, or a still photo for that matter. Now, as far as why there's a lot more examples of Bigfoot captured on film or actually in captivity, that's pretty straightforward. They don't want to be. They don't want to be caught on film. They don't want to be in captivity. That is very clear. I think that they have had now, the way I like to express it is that the Bigfoot in North America have now had over 300 years to practice hiding from us. And when I say us in this context, I'm talking about people of Northern European background. The people who came and took the continent away from the natives. The Spaniards, the English, and so on and so forth. We had the Indian Wars. We almost annihilated the entire buffalo herds. We nearly clear-cut all the redwood trees around here, and the Sasquatch would have been observing this. And so, they were smart enough to realize that we are nasty little guys, and we have massive numbers and weapons of mass destruction. So they sort of instinctively realized also that they had a lifestyle that was perfect for avoiding us. They were already set up. They were already probably nomadic hunter-gatherers. And so all they had to do was just go a little deeper in the woods, a little further underground, or higher in the tree, or whatever it is they've been doing. And they've had now 300 and some years to practice this in North America. And they're really good at hiding. Except that we have tens of thousands of eyewitnesses. So they're certainly not infallible. They make mistakes. They get seen. Also, I can state that I believe that there have been instances of Bigfoot being shot. But they were it was done by a person who thought they were shooting a bear at the time. Now you go and shoot a bear, and then you go to harvest your bear, and it suddenly has human characteristics like a face and hands and feet. Well, that's enough to convince somebody they haven't shot a bear. And there's been nobody that's done this that had a connection with science or an understanding of the importance of it, or enough of an education to realize the meaning of it. And these things have gone uncovered. I think that a bear hunter who shot a Bigfoot accidentally and realized it would probably be afraid of being prosecuted for manslaughter. This sort of thing. So that's why they've never been captured or shot or what have you, because they're hiding deliberately, and because when one does get shot, and it has to happen accidentally for the most part, people realize what they've done. They hide the evidence or just abandon it. And then, of course, if the Sasquatch see one of their brethren laying dead, they're not going to leave them lay there, because then we'd know they're there. So they're going to hide the bodies. That's pretty obvious too.